Good day, good day, good day, good day. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. So if you're new here, my name is Stifler, and I hope that you are going to subscribe to our YouTube channel after watching this. So today we are on simultaneous equations, grade 11. I'm just going to show you how to solve simultaneous equations. So solving simultaneous equations, we use a technique that will help us to find two unknown variables in two equations. So here we're having two equations with y and x. Both are unknown, right? So both equations are having the same variables that we're trying to find. So the simplest way to solve simultaneous equations is to try to first pick the equation that is more simple. The equation that is not having squares. You can see that equation number 2 is having squares. So you might want to pick an equation that is not having squared, just like the first one there. So you take your first equation and you write it down. So we're having y plus 2x is equals to 2. So after picking an equation that is simple, you might also want to pick a variable that is simple. So between this y and this x, you can see that the y one is simple. So it means that we can take 2x to that other side. So we are trying to make y subject to the formula. So this is the simplest way to solve simultaneous equations, and it is called solving by substitution. So we are going to solve by substitution. So now we can make y our subject of the formula. So it means that our y becomes 2 minus 2x. And since we made this equation, you can call this equation 3. So after making your equation that you've made, making one variable subject of the formula, it means that you are going to substitute that in the other equation that you didn't use. So now we are going to substitute this into the complicated equation. So we can see that this is y squared plus 2x squared is equals to 3xy. So anywhere that we are going to see y, we are going to substitute by 2 minus 2x. So this is our value of y in terms of x. So it means that everywhere that there is y, we are going to substitute that. So let's write out our equation. So it is saying y squared plus 2x squared is equals to 3xy. So we're going to substitute equation 3 into 2. Equation 3 into equation 2. So we can see that our y is 2 minus 2x. So where there's y, you can substitute 2 minus 2x. But here it is having a squared, so we can square that. So plus 2x squared will be equals to 3x. And again, where there's y, you can substitute that. So that's 2 minus 2x. So now we can multiply out the brackets. So here we know that these are two sets of brackets. So this is equivalent to 2 minus 2x and 2 minus 2x. And you can multiply out these brackets. 2 multiplied by 2 gives us 4. 2 multiplied by negative 2x, that's negative 4x. And negative 2 multiplied by 2, that's a negative 4x as well. And negative 2x multiplied by negative 2x, that's positive 4x squared. So we can replace this by that which we've just multiplied out. So our 4, so this and this will give us negative 8. So negative 8x plus 4x squared plus 2x squared will be equal to, and you can multiply out this bracket as well. So 3x multiplied by 2, that gives us 6x, and 3x multiplied by negative 2x, that will give us negative 6x squared. So now we can take everything this side and group the like terms, and then we can add the like terms. So this becomes 4x squared plus 2x squared, that's 6x squared, and this minus 8x plus 4, and everything coming this side, negative 6x squared will become positive 6x squared, minus 6x is equals to 0. So now this and that will give us 12x squared minus 14x plus 4 is equals to 0. So we can see that there is a common factor there. We can divide throughout by 2. So after dividing by 2, this becomes 6x squared minus 7x plus 2 is equals to 0. So now we can factorize this equation. So this equation is saying 6x squared minus 7x plus 2 being equals to 0. So your factorization game must be very good. And if you cannot factorize, you can use the quadratic formula, which you can watch the video there, or you can watch the video on completing the squares, which is also there, right? So factorizing this can become like 3x, like 2x. So this can be 2 there, and this can be 1 there. So minus and minus there. So now our 3x minus 2 is equal to 0, or 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. So now after taking everything that says, our 3x will become 2, or my 2x can become 1. So lastly, my x can become 2 over 3, or my x can become 1 over 2. So now we have solved only for one variable, right, x. So after solving for x, we might want to solve y as well. But luckily we're having the equation for y. So now we can use this equation 3 that we have made previously. So we know that our y is equivalent to 2 minus 2x. So everywhere that there's x now, we are substituting with this value. So 2 minus 2 multiplied by 2 over 3. So the value of y now can become 2 minus 4 over 3, like that. So here our y can become 2 over 3, and you can find the second value of y as well. So y is equal to 2, and then minus 2, and you can substitute half like that. So y can become 2, and this gives us 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So we have solved for this equation simultaneously. So when our x is 2 over 3, our y is also 2 over 3. When our x is half, our y is 1. So maybe let's solve another simultaneous equation so that you can see the flow of this, and you can also try to solve them imitating this. So let's take a look at this simultaneous equations, and let's solve this one. So as well, the first step is to pick which of this equation is simple. So you can see that this one is having squared, so it means that we cannot pick that one, it is complex. So we need to pick the one that is simple with no squared. So we can write that down as 2x minus y is equal to 1. And apart from picking that, you might also want to pick the variable that is simple as well. So between the x and the y, you can see that the y is simple, and we have to make that subject of the formula. But to make it the subject of the formula, it means that we must make it positive. So let's take our y to that side so it can become positive. So now it means that our 2x minus 1, so 1 coming this side, and our y going that side, like that. So it means that this is simply our y is equal to 2x minus 1, and you can say that is our equation 3. So it means that this equation, we are going to use it to substitute in that other equation that is complex. So let's write it down first. So x squared minus 2xy plus 2x minus y squared. This one is saying is equal to 0, right? Yes, it's equal to 0, like that. So now let's substitute equation 3 into equation 1. So we're going to into equation 1. So 3 into 1. So everywhere that there's y, we're going to, on this equation, we're going to substitute 2x minus 1. So our x squared minus 2x, and the value of y is 2x minus 1 plus 2x minus, and then where there's y, we are substituting 2x minus 1. But here there's a squared, so we put squared there, is equal to 0. So we can multiply out the brackets. So x squared minus 4x, and this and that will give us plus 2x plus 2x. And to multiply this out, it means that we can do that with 2 pairs of brackets, like that. So this is 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1. So 2x multiplied by 2x, that's 4x squared. This and that, that's negative 2x. This and that, that's negative 2x. And that, that's a positive 1. So this gives us 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. So substitute there, that's 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 is equal to 0. So always remember that when there's a negative there, you might want to put everything inside the bracket so that when you're done solving this, you will multiply out with this negative. So x squared, so this and that and that. So this is a squared, this is squared. So x squared minus 4x squared, that's a negative 3x squared. And then now our plus 2, that's plus 4x. And now this multiplied by that, that's negative 4x squared. This and that, that's a positive 4x. and this and that negative 1 is equals to 0. This and that, they are like terms, so it will give us negative 7x squared and then plus 8x minus 1 is equals to 0. So now we can divide throughout by negative to make this equation positive. So this 7x squared minus 8x plus 1 is equals to 0. So we might want to factorize that. So 7x squared minus 8x plus 1 is equals to 0. So we can factorize that. So 7x and then our x, our 1 there, and minus there. So now this means that our 7x minus 1 is equals to 0, or x minus 1 is equals to 0. So it means that here our x becomes 1 over 7, or x can become 1, like that. And now to solve the value of y, we can use our equation 3, which we just made there. So we know that our y is 2x minus 1, or y is equals to 2x minus 1. So where there's x now, we're substituting these values. So this becomes 2, 1 over 7 minus 1, or y becomes 2, 1 minus 1. So y they can become negative 5 over 7, or y can become 1, like that. As simple as that. That's how you solve simultaneous equations. So if you have enjoyed this content, please show us by subscribing to our channel and also liking this content. It helps us a lot. I hope to see you on the next one. Have a lovely day.